This podcast is rated S for sexy and contains mature themes, explicit sexual content, and some freaky ass shit. So if your trigger warning list is longer than the schlongs in these books, protect your innocent ears from the salacious musings of this red hot pod. But if you're a pervy peach like us with one hand on your Kindle and the other between your folds, strap on, in, for the unhinged book club ride of your wet dreams.
This is Between the Folds.
Oh, and there's definitely going to be spoilers. Don't say we didn't warn you. As for the rest of you freaky little strumpets, let's get into it.
Welcome to the club. Pull up a seat. Between the folds where the kings all meet. Welcome to the club. Let's slip right through. Between the folds where literature is blue.
It's janitor of Joyful Orifices, Jess, your clititure in command for this week. And I am here with
Lusty Lieutenant Lindsay.
most likely to date her first cousin.
Second or third. Don't judge me.
And
Minister of Moisture, Elisa.
most likely to take the plot of Unhinged Smut way too seriously.
How dare you?
Remember,
And just remember, as we give our overview, we listen and we don't judge.
Except for when we do.
Okay, so this week's thirst trap is Alien Quarantine Rescue by Robin Lovett, a book I tried to read a couple years ago, and I don't even think I finished it. I was pretty irate about it, and this time around, I had fun with it.
Just to be clear, I loved it from the very beginning. My heart is with Alien Quarantine Rescue.
This was my first time. So I had
Ever?
I know, because this is BE before Elisa joined the Unhinged Book Club.
true.
And therefore would have had no reason to read this book. But it was my first
Other
time.
than it's a damn delight.
It is a damn delight. I actually liked it until the end. But you know me.
Okay, keep in mind that this book was written during the pandemic, during 2020. So, for the purposes of this book, setting the stage, welcome to the year 2025, where Beer Rona, yes, really, has wiped out most of humanity and a fascist government keeps survivors locked inside under threat of drone assassination. Ellie has been in solitary quarantine for 5 years. No human contact other than her 5 friends that she keeps up with on Zoom. No hope, just her and the apocalyptic desert wasteland outside. So, Ellie, she's sitting here. It's existing. It's still can't go outside. The beer Rona is that bad. A naked alien crashes into her yard with a spaceship, and he is packing the most improbable anatomy this side of the galaxy. A shiny, vibrating dick and testicles so massive they hang halfway down his thighs like some kind of scrotal nightmare / fantasy. His opening line, I give antibodies.
Hot in the circumstances. You know what I mean?
2020, I would have been like, hit me up.
Yeah.
Facts.
Give me the juice, baby.
So naturally, not only does he come a lot, he has glitter cum. It's described with the appetizing texture of moisturizer, and trust me, she eats a lot of it. And his jizz contains the cure to beer Rona. He needs her because his entire species is died out, except for 75 of them, and humans are apparently the closest other species that are reproductively compatible with his. She needs him because his jizz is literally the vaccine, if only that had been the case for us.
But did Pfizer even try? You know what I mean?
That would have been a hell of a lot more fun.
Where were you, Moderna, when we needed you?
Seriously. So what follows is days of physically impossible, venti Starbucks-size sex involving using his balls as a pillow, nose penetration, eye-sealing ejaculations, and enough "I must fill you with my cum" dialogue to make anyone question their life choices. Eventually, they head to space. They go and pick her friends up. They want their own alien matches because, duh. And Ellie gets pregnant with a half-alien baby. The vibe pandemic meets interspecies breeding program meets the physics have left the building.
I feel like we have to acknowledge the elephant in the room that I know why you didn't like this book,
Elephant
Jess.
balls.
There's so much slapping of balls in this book that I was like, they're down halfway down to his knees. Like, he wouldn't just slap her ass because, at one point, she was talking about it slapping her ass. Like, that's gonna wrap around and hit you in the clitoris.
What a delight.
Wait, where is your clitoris? Shit, I've been doing things wrong. Do you mean they're going to wrap around, come up the top of her head, and then hit her clitoris? Because that probably would have happened.
When you say clitoris, it really feels very prehistoric to me. Like a clitorosaurus or something.
Clitorosaurus. No, you just, you think like they're hanging and, I've talked about a 7-inch labia before. I don't have that dangling. But, if it's like knee and it just comes whop, like right through. You'd have to have your legs really wide though. Like, because I got chub rub. That's not going to like make it through without just being spread.
I did most of what I got so distracted reading this book because I did so much half-cocked internet research.
Oh, did you?
We are going to open like such a rabbit hole, but
in a private browser.
Well, anyway, I had a chat with Claude. Claude and I discussed this. So I don't remember how tall this alien being that looks like a human, other than being glittery and the gigantic assets, right? So it got me thinking, for scientific purposes, of course, obviously, if a man was 6 foot tall and had balls that hung halfway down his thighs, how long would they be in inches? So the average thigh length for a 6 foot man is approximately 24 inches from hip joint to knee. So halfway down his thighs is 12 inches. So this man's flaccid penis is 12 inches long, and his balls are as long as that. So we're talking about foot-long testicles. That is a Subway sandwich dangling down there.
Well, while you may have been looking at scrotal swelling, I want to, and this is going to connect, so you're just going to have to wait for me. Has it ever happened to you guys before that you have had, like, I like to call them like a sleepgasm, where you are orgasming in your sleep, but it wakes you up?
Never.
Never?
I would be so into this, but never.
Like a wet dream.
Yeah.
I've had those before.
Never.
This happened to me this morning. But
How lucky are we?
I know, it's such a treat. And I think
Are you why the power went out?
it was a very powerful orgasm. No, I was asleep, in my bed. But I was reading this book. I was finishing up,
You were finishing, yes.
I was
yes,
I
indeed.
So I was having a dream, and in my dream, I was like laid out on this table, like
Naturally.
as one does. It was a little bit medical, but also like a little bit like kidnap situation. I
Like
feel
alien, like you were
like
abducted by aliens.
Exactly. It was a little bit like that. It was like very stark room, very silver, and
Was there glitter cum?
there was. I wish, unfortunately, my brain. We can't choose our dreams. In my dream, I was coming, and then I woke up in my real life, and I was.
What an amazing alarm clock.
I know, right? It was not exactly like the time to get up yet. It was a bit early for me.
I have
but
the like, bam, bam, bam. I should change how we do this. I'll take a orgasm any morning.
It doesn't happen to me that often, but every time it happens, I'm so delighted.
I once had a dream that I had a dick. This is part of my obsession with having a penis, in that I had sex in this dream, and it was amazing. And now I am obsessed.
In the dream, you were coming with your dick?
Yeah, I had sex with somebody and then came. It was
Dear
amazing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What is happening?
You have
that I am
sad
not
dreams.
getting
You have
this?
sad dreams.
I do.
Don't you read your smut before bed?
Yeah, of course.
Put good thoughts in your brain.
Even in the middle of the night when I wake up at 4:00 in the morning, because perimenopause is like, hey, bitch, you don't get enough sleep. Let's make it worse. Anyway, yeah, so I read to fall asleep again. But do I orgasm? No.
I'm sorry for you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna help you manifest this.
Okay, thank
so
you.
Maybe if you got into a yoni steam or two, this might help. I don't know.
No, I don't want a yoni steam. No bacteria. No.
Rotten vaginas.
Well, whatever I'm doing, it's working. So I don't know.
You can yoni steam your big ass behemoth balls. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Look, there's more. We only discussed flaccid peni. I don't know why I was going to call it peni. So anyway, I had to ask, if the flaccid penis is 12 inches, how many inches would it likely then be if it got hard?
We've heard a lot of talk growing up. There's showers, not growers. Because some people, it just...
I never heard that phrase until I was 34, I think.
You weren't hanging out with me and my people. It's fine.
True.
It's fine.
That was like one of the 5 things I knew about penises when I was young.
That it was a shower, not a grower,
Yeah, exactly.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, tell me.
But I was the only one touching penises at that time, right?
Yeah,
guys
you
were a
were.
little
Yeah, that's what I'm
later.
saying. I just knew 5 random facts. I didn't have any personal experience.
I like to study things before I dive in.
I'm an experiencer. So this does talk about growers and showers. So thankfully I already knew what these meant now at 46. But so growers can increase 150 to 200%. Showers might only increase 120 to 130%. So if this alien is already packing 12 inches and flaccid, and it's huge, even if he's soft, he's probably more of a shower situation, because she mentioned that. So let's say the conservative estimate is 130% growth. That is 15.6 inches. If he is a grower, that is 18 inches. If authors go in full chaos, that is 24 inches. That's literally 2 feet of dick. The statement, I give antibodies, she just pounced on him right then, and then he slid right in. So,
Okay, listen, I'm mentioning myself. I'm Ellie. I've been alone in a house for 5 years. I don't care if your dick is half an inch or if it's 24 inches. I'm gonna put it all over my body. I'm gonna put it all over me. I am deprived. I am in a desperate state. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong.
whatever anatomy you have, just like put it on me.
You're not wrong. And if the pandemic had lasted 5 years and I had gone 5 years by myself without being touched, I probably, like, death by dick would have been my preference to this
That's my
Rona.
general death preference, but like...
What I just love is the image for a moment of just like,
But I mean, that's basically what then proceeds to happen for the rest of this book. Is she is just lathering, licking, whatever. From his point of view, he says, her thick lips part on a mouth that will fit perfectly around the head of my cock.
Not possible.
Stop it. Exactly.
Not
because
possible.
average human flaccid girth is 3.5 to 4 inches. Erect girth is 4.5 to 5 inches. If we're scaling proportionately, a 12-inch cock,
Flaccid, so
flaccid
15.
is 21 to 24 inches around.
No
Erect,
way.
27 to 30 inches around.
You stop.
The head of his cock is roughly the
Stretching.
size of a softball.
She's
I
getting
would
ready.
be prepping if I
This
were
is her
Ellie. I'd be like,
calisthenics for the next dream.
So fitting perfectly around her mouth. I'm just imagining this character is literally, she's just one big mouth. That's all she can be. Her eyes are up here, and then she's just got like a maw.
What are those things from Star Wars again? That like just the sand, or like even from Dune, the things like
The sandworms. Well, I think like the
Sandworms,
Midgard one from...
Yeah.
So his head would be the size of a softball.
That's dangerous.
You wouldn't be able to breathe.
No, that's mentioned a couple times in the book.
Right, but it's mentioned in this like I'm hitting the back of her throat way instead of like, oh, just opening your mouth, you wouldn't be able to breathe because like you couldn't fit your tongue anywhere.
I also asked, what is the average human ejaculation? It's about a teaspoon. Testicle size does correlate with sperm production capacity. So if we're scaling, it comes out to over 2.5 cups. That is a venti Starbucks drink, more than a full water bottle, 130 teaspoons.
If we're going to take this book at its word, this guy was putting out way more than 2 cups. He was like
Yeah.
slathering it all over her body. He
Painting her with it.
Yeah,
There
there was a lot. But it was sparkly. It was rainbow.
No.
She also said it tasted good because
And it
that was my
tasted
first
good.
like pause point. As soon as he started licking it and then feeding it into her mouth, I was like, oh shit.
And like scooping it out of her orifices and like
Yep.
scraping it off the areas that it
Yep.
has
She had to
come.
get
And
every
then-
last antibody.
but then she was
described it
like,
as-
it tastes good, thank God.
So I have this book on Kindle. It's available on Kindle Unlimited. It's called Natural Harvest, and it's a semen cookbook. So it's a bunch of recipes where you can add semen to it that you can eat.
So this
It's a published book. You
this
can
is not a
look it up.
smut book. This is literally
No, it's a cookbook.
Okay, Lindsay, I'm concerned. No wonder you're skinny. Jesus, how fucking rude.
Don't go sit at
She's
Lindsay's
like,
house or
"Let me
touch
cook
anything.
with Tom."
And don't let her cook for you, apparently. And she cooks for me a
I
lot.
am a very good cook. I'm just throwing it out there.
You are.
Now we know your secret.
Now you know my secret
weapon.
sauce. The special gravy. Okay, so I love this book. When we read it for a book club, I felt I was a little alone in the Unhinged Club. People were not about it. But this book is so unhinged. It's perfection, I think. Robin, I think you crushed it because she took a moment in time, right? The pandemic,
Yeah.
which was a really crazy time for all of us. It's a time that we can all identify with. She took like real concepts and feelings like being lonely during quarantine and being
Touch
touch
deprived.
deprived. She took like trying to connect with people, like having small family that you develop in this time of isolation, took this kind of like political unrest that we were experiencing in that
She
same
covered
time.
it all with jizz.
And she did.
Glitter, moisturizer, thick jizz.
And she took this outrageous concept, right, of this alien coming down and like he has the antibodies and she has the cure to save his dying race also. And she put it together and it was just, as many reviewers said, it was banana pants. It was totally crazy. But to me, that's like exactly what like the perfect form of like a crazy unhinged book. Like it just like kept getting crazier and crazier. Like the alien baby, the mating ceremony where he cuts off a piece of his heart and puts it in a locket and she wears it.
And she's like,
in
well, that was a little
chain
aggressive, but
around her
okay.
neck. Even the extra literalness of like, you have a piece of my heart, to actually literally give it a piece of his heart. I liked it so much that I even didn't hate the ending, which is married with a baby, because you guys know I'm not into the breeding kink. I'm not into like all this batshit craziness. And then happily ever after, we got married and had children. But it was so crazy. That was so good.
Well,
Right?
that also was part of his story. This didn't feel like it had to be. Like there's other books where it's like the only way things are appropriate or things are okay is if it then leads to marriage and a baby. But this...
She was saving another society, people.
Yes, exactly. Like,
Saving
first of all, I
another-
refuse to discuss this book seriously. But I do agree with all of those things. I don't know if reading this now, it's a little further out from the pandemic, and now we're in the midst of like
the unraveling.
Exactly. Well, and the pandemic really taught us, yeah, this shit could happen. And then I just think about the improbability of some of the things going on now in 2026. And yes, I'm outraged and upset about everything happening. But like when people are like, oh my God, can you believe this? I'm like, I absolutely can. Do you see what we have lived through for the last 10 years now? And it was interesting, even through the lens of this ridiculous book, like thinking about that again.
I loved the not so subtle political commentary.
Yeah, seriously.
It was pretty
heavy-handed.
on the nose.
Yeah.
When you
I would
think
say.
about some of the things she said then,
Yeah, and in
and you
today's
think
world,
about how now, right?
Yep.
That was when we were like,
Well-
oh, it can't be that bad. He's only going to have one term.
obviously today when we're recording, it's not far away from Minneapolis and Alex Preddy's murder. When she talked about the goons
Yeah.
from the government coming to
Watching them.
The
like-
slugs.
Yeah, the slugs. I called them goons in my head, but the slugs. And like, I was like, ooh, that shit's happening right
Yeah.
fucking now. So interesting.
I was like, does she have ESP? Did she write this book before the pandemic?
Well, I mean, we were dealing with this shit in 2020.
Pretty much a lot of our books have been socially conscious smut. However, I think this one was so much more on the front and center commentary as opposed to like maybe Yeet, which you have to be a little more intelligent to read that one and be like, oh, it's incels. That's what we're talking about.
Or we're just drawing unnecessary conclusions. You know, you never know. You know,
You never
I don't
know.
think so, though.
I'd had a friend who's here and she was like, should I read this book? And I was like, yeah, I think you should. At the end of the day, I mean, it's unhinged smut in a great way. I think that for me, and I'm going to bring reality into this because that's my role. I didn't like the very end of the book just because it was so heavy handed on like the feelings of each other. And I was like, blah.
I skimmed all that shit.
But-
So what happens in the book is after she gives him her blood that they inject directly into his heart to save his life,
Which he needs.
which he needs. This is how they save him. So after that, then they develop this bond where they are actively,
Enmeshed.
where they feel everything the other person's feeling to the point that they can't, like, Ellie really freaks out because she can't sense where she ends and where he begins. Like strong emotions are basically overtaking her, and she freaks out. And I actually thought, I was like, it's like almost like the book like shifted into almost a horror phase at that moment because she's like really like flipping out. And I actually think that would be really scary.
Yeah, it would.
If all of a sudden you're just like racked by like all these emotions and you like, it's like you've lost your, like in a second, you've lost your sense of identity and you're feeling this other person just viscerally in your body in such a way. I thought it turned almost like horror movie for a little bit.
I took it a different way because I took it a little bit as another sense of commentary on women losing their sense of self.
In a
Because
relationship.
he was able to actually know what was his and what was hers, and she didn't. And so like I was reading it and being like, okay, actually, like I think this is another form of commentary, perhaps not political, but then just about women and losing themselves when they give a piece of themselves to somebody else. Because she had to give all of her blood. Not all of it, but a lot of her blood.
Well, she gave a lot. Like,
She did give
gave
quite
too
a bit.
much. Like,
Because they also didn't know how much blood to give him in order to save him. And so they took as much as they could without killing her. And it's just interesting. But I do think that there's something in there about this sense of like losing yourself and that like it's too much. And she pushes him away like hard instead of leaning into that thought process, which was interesting. So I found that part annoying and I rolled a little bit, but also I'm a little interested in what the subtext of that actually was.
But again, it's like she takes it to this extreme level, right? This like concept of that really like taking it to its like farthest conclusion, which is why I liked it from like an unhinged perspective. And like I thought she did a good job of making it like this is actually really scary.
I did not take this book this seriously. The dialogue was terrible. Like I couldn't get
Absolutely
that absorbed in it.
I was obsessed. I'm obsessed with the dialogue. There's so many lines that broke me, but like it broke me open. I was in love. Shall I share a few? Let me share.
I wrote down basically a whole fucking book.
That's what I'm saying. It's delightful. Hot damn. What would sex be like with a shiny dick? What I wouldn't give to feel its huge, thick shaft fucking me into oblivion, making me come again and again. And those balls, they hang so low they'd probably hit my ass on a delay as he fucked me. I don't care who he is or where he came from. I don't care if I'm dead from Birona in 3 days. That cock is worth dying for. That shit is gold.
I wrote down another quote that was also, his balls are enormous and hang halfway down his thighs as long as his huge flaccid dick. Wow. They hang so low that they probably hit my ass on a delay as they fucked me. And I was like, oh shit.
See, there were parts for me where I didn't understand if we were actually dealing with a human woman.
Oh,
My
interesting.
fingers slip inside her. She welcomes 3 of them easily. I find the bulb that's engorged within her depths. Is there a tonsil in
No,
vagina that I am not aware of?
A uvula down there?
Yeah.
What's happening?
No, it sounds like he is inside of her. The clitoris is not inside your vagina unless I don't know my anatomy.
Aren't the glands?
I've been touching the wrong thing.
We've got a doctor in the other room. Let's do this.
What are we asking him?
I think the glands, like the clitoris is the small, like outside part, but it goes in and it is quite large because I know when folks have sex reassignment surgeries, like that's what they use in order to create the penis.
yes.
So I do think that there is
Like most of the clitoris is actually internal.
The clitoris is primarily an internal organ,
yeah.
Yeah.
while a small, highly sensitive pearl-sized nub is visible externally at the top. Well, color me
That's why
stupid.
when you're inside and you're outside and you touch a little shenanigans, Bob's your uncle.
So they did in this book also, he describes her labia a lot, which I
Yeah.
also
Really does.
thought was incredible. And I did put this, I put it in the euphemisms of the book, but will it be pretty? Will she be full of layers and delectable caverns for me to bury my cock in? The depths of her sex so wanton she can take all the cum, C-O-M-E, I can give her and more. Her delectable folds, they're so delectable. They're delectable caverns and folds exposed the infinity of her depths waiting to be filled by my cum.
Between the folds. We have come full circle. Dun, 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 dun.
So the first time I read this book, I had a tantrum. I think this was shortly before I decided to quit it because there was like one 3-page chapter that said the word cum like 18 times. And I was also getting very distressed by C-O-M-E versus C-U-M. I understand that you can use those words interchangeably, but in a book that you're using that word so fucking often, differentiate. My God.
I had another quote, and this is about the political shenanigans. The last election we had, our president, who was a corrupt sociopath, who allowed the virus to take over in the first place, was decapitated at his last public appearance by the same fascist who put him into power. Highest ratings ever, and all that.
Yeah, I was going to write that one down too, but then I was scared that the drones were going to come assassinate us.
I didn't write it.
Do you hear the slugs outside your door right now?
He sucks on my tongue, dragging it into his mouth, as though he wants to own the taste of me, to swallow every piece of me. He doesn't release my mouth to breathe, but exhales heavily against my cheeks, refusing to relinquish my mouth. I cannot even fathom what this looks like. I don't get it.
Also, have you ever had someone suck on your tongue?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, I like it.
I don't care.
You don't care for your tongue to be sucked?
I know.
I think it's in a lot of like fantasy and romantasy books too, like tongue sucking and which I'm fine. I don't think I've ever done that, but
Or teeth. His
Teeth
tongue
licking.
explored. Yeah, his
Why?
tongue explored my teeth, and you're
do
like,
not lick my teeth. Don't do it. Gross.
You're like,
I don't want you to lick my teeth, but for sure you can suck my tongue.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But, like teeth licking, I don't get it. Why did anybody ever decide that was sexy?
I don't
But
know.
wait, let's go back to tongue sucking for a second. I don't know what to do in that scenario. Like, what do you do? Like, you're just somebody's like, let me suck
You're
your
just
tongue. You're like, okay.
My impulse is to demonstrate that.
I know exactly. I was like,
Let me show you a
I
good
think it's
time.
nice. I'm a fan. Pretty sure it happened in my dream last night. A lot of sucking in my dream. I'm just saying.
Sounds like it's just like toes. You know, suck my toes.
Okay, speaking of toes, this is my one of my other favorite quotes. Everything from her cheeks to her little toes is perfect for sex. And I was like, ooh, what's she doing with her little toes? She has a perfect little toe sex.
Cheeks to toes.
Her
What do your
cheeks to her
cheeks have to
little
do with
toes.
sex?
That's what. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She has the perfect cheeks for sex.
maybe he liked because he did come all over her face and rub it
In
all
her
over, and then
eyeballs.
she answered her Zoom call to one of her friends, covered in this jizz face mask that she had.
But it was
all
shiny
glittery.
rainbow.
I'm sure every single one of us wrote this one.
Is it the one about where she nuzzles her cheek and takes a nap on his ball pillow?
Yep. Close your eyes, Ellie. I do. And he yanks my head back, pulls out his dick, and spurts cum on my eyes. I keep swallowing his seed that is still full of my mouth. My eyes are sealed closed with his cum. So I guess that's what those look like. Rainbow cum. That's close.
I was thinking about this one. His balls are so enormous, they make a cushion for my head. I nuzzle my cheek along the soft sacs, feeling the hardness inside of his excessive seed preparing for me. Now, that was a nitpick for me because you know how I hate the word seed.
Yeah.
And she did use seed a few times.
Can we talk about laying your head on a pillow of balls
I
for
know.
a second?
I just-
I'm kind of interested because I imagine it to be. You remember like when you were a kid and you had those long sleeves that like when you squished it would drop through and it was
I
like
know
that.
exactly what you're talking about. It was like kind of usually
Yeah,
like some sort of
yep,
sparkly
and it would like
thing in
shoot
there.
up, you know, and that's what I imagine a pillow of balls like that would be. Like you'd lay down and the ball would go pink. And like, but it would be, how would it be big? I don't know what's happening, but I imagined quite a few scenarios.
I do have an important question though. So one of the quotes is, he lowers his face to the apex of my thighs and nuzzles me there like my wild, untamed quarantine pubic hair is somehow life-giving. So my question is, you have been 5 years alone in your house, no hope of ever seeing another person. Are you taming your pubic hair? Are you shaving any part of your body? Are you wearing clothes? Because at one point she's like embarrassed about like being naked, and I'm like, you've been alone in your house for 5 fucking years and you're wearing clothes all the time? That's insane.
I did think that was weird. Like, how many of
Why
us
are you
wore
wearing
pants during the
clothes?
pandemic? Almost ever. That was the hardest thing to get back to, right? Is putting pants on again. And like, so yeah, I did think that was weird too.
Do you know what I thought was weird? This is going to come as no surprise to you. But I was like, if you can't be around other people because that's how you get the Rona, how were the slugs able to be around each other? And B, how do you get your groceries?
Yeah, I was confused by all that.
Anyway.
I think they did say something about gardens.
Okay, but back to whether or not you're trimming your pubic hair.
Oh, yeah. I actually...
Sorry.
These are important questions. The people need to know.
I
Yes.
mean, I think
because
I
I
would.
don't do that for really
Someone
anybody else.
Yeah. I would say the exact same. Would I shave my legs? Probably not.
I might. I've got a lot of time on my hands. I'm going to put designs into my legs. Little
That's what I'm
lightning
thinking.
bolts.
You are alone all day. I think I might look the best I've ever looked in my life. Like, I have no activities. Like,
I'm going to grow it out really long and braid it.
yeah. Like, I might try out different
Yeah.
styles.
Shave it on the sides and make it like a Viking.
I would have an OnlyFans of my pubes.
Oh
All
yeah,
the different
you
things
could make
that they
so
did.
much
Yeah.
money, yo.
But no one has any money. They're
That's
not
true,
working
'cause they can't work.
Yeah, so you can have a lot of fans, but you're not going to be rich off them.
You never know.
So
Those
yeah, I
slugs.
think I would, but I just think I would try all kind of things because
Yeah.
what else is there to do with your day?
Art,
Yeah.
body art is essentially what that would become. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I definitely would not be wearing clothes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There's no way 5 years I'm alone, I'm going to bother to put literally anything on. Unless it's a temperature issue. But I think it was very hot because they kept talking about how hot it was.
Yes, because they lived in the desert.
Yeah, and climate change.
I'm just really stuck on all the anatomy stuff, though. Our eyes stayed locked while he drives his cock into my mouth, his hips lifting and bouncing my head on his balls while he hand fucks my cunt with a rapid moving wrist. I cannot visualize this. I can't. I'm very confused by.
Clearly, you've never met a giant alien man before, Jess.
I have not.
So when I was a child, I believe I saw a UFO over the church where my mother worked. And my mom is terrified of alien abductions because
Me too. That's my first fear. Second is hemorrhoids. First is alien abduction. Although I'm rapidly, after this book and then after the horrors of what's going on right now, I am much less so. Now I'm like begging for it.
for hemorrhoids?
No, for alien abduction.
Like, I might get a hemorrhoid if I saw an alien come down from
No,
the sky.
now hemorrhoids are like my first fear. And then actually, no, my first fear, like Lindsay and our friend Saren told me about anal fissures.
Oh, God, yeah.
Way worse than a hemorrhoid, let me tell you.
Terrified. So now it's like anal fissures, then hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids are still number 2. Alien abduction isn't scare fear anymore. It's like a please come and get me. Me and my
There
friends.
has to be a better way.
Take me to Canada.
Oh, Lord.
I was surprised Ellie didn't think about that. Like, in this book, she was like, I got to go back to my friends. I'm like, why? The planet is a terrible wasteland. Don't go back to them, round them up, and take them to outer space. Like,
Which she did.
she finally got there, but that was not like her original plan. She was like, I got to go back with Charlie out there on Earth. But goodbye forever, gun.
Also, I don't know why, because it really was not that interesting to me in the grand scheme of things. But the way this book ended with the cyborg being the one who is like the DNA match with her friend, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have to read the second book, aren't I? That's how that worked for me. So no, I'm going to read the second book tonight.
I want to read Charlie's book because Charlie I thought was really spunky and fun.
She was.
And she's the one who gets mated to
The dog.
the Fang, the feral alien.
The feral
in
alien.
a cage. So I bet her
Whose
book's
brain
gonna
has
be
turned to
fun.
mush.
Yeah. He's going to be a good fuck, though. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No,
Yeah.
you guys need to read all of the heated rivalry stuff before you can read this.
I
So I
have
have
it on my
somebody to talk
Kindle.
to about.
I have it on my Kindle. I have it
I have priorities, and it's alien quarantine rescue.
Well, your priorities are wrong.
on. Your priorities suck.
Let's switch to some Would You Rather.
These are all going to be ball focused, aren't they?
Would you rather?
About to find out.
Yeah.
This is going to be for you, Elisa.
Ooh.
Would you rather have your tongue sucked or teeth licked?
Tongue sucked.
You have to choose.
Would you rather have his nose inside of you or be cushioned by ball pillows?
Cushioned by ball
Balls.
pillows.
No, I want that nose all up in my business, baby.
Yeah, I think I'm with
Get
that.
a good sniff in
Balls
there.
are-
Listen, half the time when you are going down on somebody, it's always like at some point you're like, if you're sideways, you gotta have a support. And so if there are balls that are doing that are soft, and you can run your fingers through the hair, let's do it.
I think you got to use the nose as an instrument, you know? Like it's an additional appendage.
With the cum too, I did not appreciate. Like they talked a lot about it, how it foamed out of her. Enough. Oh, we didn't mention this yet. But his dick vibrated.
Yes.
That was nice.
And once he got her blood in him, he ballooned more.
Yeah, ain't nobody needed him to balloon more. It was
I don't
like
know that he
27
needed
fucking
to get
inches already.
bigger,
No,
but-
thank you. No, thank you. I mean,
No stretching for anybody? Okay, sounds great.
would you rather be told, I must give you my cum, like it's a medical necessity, or hear your pussy's dripping vacant and desperate?
The last one.
You know, I'm into the medical role
Pink
play.
ordering
so-
around.
No, doctor, don't do it. Do I have to? Is there any other way?
Would you rather have someone burrow their face and cheeks and nose into you, or have your head bounced on balls during oral?
I want a full facial.
Balls!
Oh, I'm with Lindsay. I'd rather the facial. I don't want my head bounced.
I have a lot of neck pain chronically. It's gonna throw off my alignment.
Last one. Would you rather continue living alone in a desert dystopian world, or take your chances with the aliens?
Oh, take my chances with aliens.
The show, beam me up, baby.
All right, we're going to dive into the most cringy scene.
I do want to talk about the anal sex part of
Oh,
this
yeah,
book.
yeah.
Because what is fascinating about this, and I was expecting the anal sex to happen a little bit earlier because they talked about it so much of like, oh, I'm going to take you in the ass. And I think it was all fine.
That was the tone he used when he said
Pretty
it.
much was.
In my book, when I was
Actually,
reading it
that was a little sexier what you just did, because I think when he just said, I'm going to put my cum in your ass.
But when it finally happened, I was like, wait, so you need to feel close to me. And so therefore, the one way we're going to feel so close is if you fuck me in the ass.
With the description of the amount of cum coming out of him
Yeah.
is just the queefs and the farts that would be coming out.
She would walk
Trying
just
to get it out. It would just be like squelches and farts for days.
So I did have a problem with the anal sex scene. This was my issue that I had. He gets right into it. He's like, I'm going to make your ass mine. And then he's just like
then he
ridding
did.
her
Oh,
like
yeah.
immediately. And I was just like, all right, get after it. Let's waste no time. He says, I fuck my fist, then press the head of my cock between her cheeks and come in her crack. So he's already lined this business up. Then he asks her, quiet, or do you want me to fuck your mouth instead? And I was like, no, sir. You can't be putting your business down there. And then you think you're
And then
going to
in my
put it
mouth.
in my mouth. That was my main problem. I was like, no.
But
You
I did.
already got it dirty. You got to wipe it in there.
Yeah,
You
we're
can't
done
be,
with the mouth now.
You can't be applying it with the instrument and then
Yeah,
think you're
once
gonna
it's
put
in
it
the
in
ass,
mouth.
you put it nowhere else.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That was my complaint that I had.
Unless you want
We've reached Lindsay's line, everybody.
antibiotics. That's true.
For first time. I think this is the first time.
We need a
in
bell.
how many episodes?
I have very low standards, but that's one of them. You know.
Really, I cringed at every
I didn't think all of it was cringy.
scene. I did because I did that description of how big it was in chapter 2. And then the rest of the time, I just kept thinking, not feasible for my vagina. It does not want to be erect and stretched out that much.
That was the cringe for me. The dick went to the ass, then he was trying to put it in her mouth. He
Yeah.
didn't because
Yeah.
she said no, thank you.
What are some of our favorite reviews?
Little moans and groans.
I'm just gonna tell you one, and this one's my favorite. Grown in the Valley, 4 stars. FYI, I would totally be an alien fucker. Same girl.
That is a you quote. Did you write that, Lindsay? Are you growing in the valley?
I was born in the valley, but I didn't. I didn't write that, but I feel a kindred spirit to you. Grown in the valley, whoever you are.
I had 5 out of 5 stars by Jamie. And she said, so this book was super silly and fun, and it was 6 out of 5 on the banana scale. True. Because the Aliens release is literally the antidote to Birona, the Corona stand-in that has screwed over Earth. Yes, ma'am.
One of my favorite quotes was Coral, 3.5 stars. Is this high literature? No. Is it giving people what they want in late quarantine? Yes. People are lonely, horny, desperate for antibodies, and this book addresses all of that. That tracked. That's true.
Yep.
I was very surprised by the amount of 5 stars this book got, but it was for all of the reasons that we discussed before, like the themes of like the loneliness and lack of touch. Like, yes, this book was absolutely ridiculous, but if you had read it particularly during
Yeah.
the pandemic, like, yeah, all of that would have, I think, landed.
I read a lot of like 1-star reviews, and every single one of them was, this is too leftist. This is too left-leaning, liberal agenda. And I was like, oh, that's so funny.
I love that they read it. Like, joke's on you, assholes.
Oh my God.
I'm also thinking to myself, like, do we need to add a bananas scale? Because I was very much inspired. Like, to me, this wasn't really a moist book. Like, it wasn't particularly arousing to me, other than the inspiration for a dream I credit to this book. But it was bananas, and I loved it.
This definitely was like a 5 chili peppers for our one-handed reviews, but like a 0 on the moisture meter. Like, I needed both hands to hold it. I did not need to take one hand off
Yeah.
to do anything other than...
There was no one-handing in this
Yeah.
book. But I didn't think it was a 0. Maybe like a 1. 1.5, 1.
Because I got a true real-life sleepgasm from this book, then it has to be at least 1 moisture meter. Like,
Right, because you got 1 orgasm out of
I
that.
got one orgasm out of it. It wasn't like during the reading of the book, but I think it planted the seed. Ugh.
Oh, in your hot cavern.
In my delectable caverns.
Oh, that's right. Lord.
They were delectable in the dream too, I'll have you know.
So I think our final vibe is definitely go read this. It's ridiculous. If you lived through the pandemic, if you were of an age,
Which
where
if you're alive, you did live through the pandemic.
But I mean, if you were of an age to like remember that, right? What all of this stuff felt like, how desperate you were, like. Yes, you would absolutely fuck an alien that showed up, no questions asked. Like, yes, I would do that. It was only the anatomy that the house that stopped me. But yes, this book was ridiculous and fun and made me laugh.
And I'm about to read book 2.
Same. I might skip to Charlie's book though, because I really
You want
liked
a
her.
little fang?
Yeah, I want some fang action.
Some biting. I know you like the biting.
I do. I can't help myself.
Sorry, not me. I'm going back to hang out with Shane and Ilya. Can't get enough.
Lame. Their dicks don't even vibrate. Their cum's not even rainbow. Gross.
What's on our nightstand for next week?
Buckle up. Strap in. Get yourself in a basket.
Get on
because-
your knees.
Get on. Yes, please. We are reading Pounded by Produce. Go read it right now. It's a fucking delight. And if you happen to grow up watching VeggieTales, it's really gonna make you feel some things you were not prepared to feel. So you might need to process before we get into it. I need to process with you. So reach
You
out.
might need to go to church.
Yeah.
Pounded by Produce by G.M. Ferry.
It's our last book of the season. Oh, cheers.
What a good season 1 finale.
Right?
Get ready.
To get railed. Well, we hope you love this smutty adventure as much as we did. If we made you laugh, blush, or question your search history, hit that like button, subscribe, and leave us a glowing 5-star review. It helps more freaky little strumpets find their way to us. Got an unhinged read we need to tackle next? Slide into our DMs on Instagram at Between the Folds Podcast and share your filthiest favorites. For more information, past episodes, and all the juicy details, visit us at www.betweenthefoldspodcast.com. Until next time, we'll see you between the folds.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Welcome to the club. Pull up a seat between the folds where the kings all meet. Welcome to the club. Let's slip right through between the folds where literature is new.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed are our own and do not reflect those of the authors, publishers, or any affiliated parties. We are not affiliated with or endorsed by any of the authors, publishers, or products mentioned. Yet. Listener discretion is advised due to adult themes, language, and content.